Good morning, Scallywags! Spoo here with another mindless drivel, and hope you guys had a good 4th of July week. Took some time off. Yes, I'm wearing a sleeveless shirt because it's like 1,015 degrees outside. Get over it. And basically took some time to, enjoy the holiday. Spend some time with my daughter. Her birthday is coming up this week, so kind of incorporated all of that into my weekend, and so I took a week and a half off from doing videos. So, what's going on in the world right now? Oh yeah! Endgame is back in theaters, and wow, that was the biggest scam ever. In case you haven't watched any of my other videos, my opinion of Avengers Endgame wasn't exactly stellar. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the movie, it was a fun watch. It didn't feel like it was 3 hours long, and that's saying a lot. It was entertaining, it was thrilling. The epic battle scene at the end was every comic book fan's dream come true, except for that A-Squad Easter egg scene. It still bothers me. But unfortunately, even though I did enjoy the movie, the problems that the movie created for itself, plot-wise, were too big for me to ignore, and it basically ruined the movie for me. Having said that, when I heard that they were going to re-release it into theaters, I admittedly got pretty excited. When I heard that there was going to be new footage included with it, I got even more excited. Much like many other people, I thought maybe this was going to be a director's cut or something. They were going to include some of the scenes that they had to explain after the fact, and hopefully this would make me enjoy the movie a little more. You see, part of the reason why I didn't like the movie were there were a lot of scenes missing from the movie that would have made it make more sense. Not that it didn't make sense, just they set some rules and then broke those rules, and I didn't understand why, but the writers and directors of the movie have since come out and said, well, this was originally in there, but we had to take it out, and those scenes would have definitely helped move that plot in a way that made way more sense than what we got. We also heard that there would be some kind of a tribute included with it, which I think everyone just sort of assumed would be a look back at the first 10 years of the MCU, or something along those lines. And beyond that we could also expect several other surprises. Of course, that opened the door for a lot of speculation. Maybe they decided they weren't going to wait until Comic-Con to release what Phase 4 is going to be. Maybe we would get our first look at the X-Men or the Fantastic Four. Maybe Thanos was gonna do a striptease. Who knows? But wow, were we all so wrong? What we ended up getting was just the biggest scam in the history of cinema. So just in case you have no idea what I'm talking about here, let's just assume for a second that you don't have access to the internet, in which case I have no idea how you're watching this video right now, but still, and you somehow have managed to avoid all of the spoilerific fun from what we got in the Endgame re-release. Let me share the beauty of it with you now. For starters, what was this all about in the first place? You see, about 10 years ago, there was this movie called Avatar. And Avatar holds the record for the biggest box office numbers in movie history. As to why that is, I have no idea. I could do an entire video on how much that movie sucked. Because let's face it, if I wanted to watch Dances with Wolves or Ferngully, I could have done that at home. But that is the subject for a totally different video. And everybody thought that Endgame would finally be the movie to take down Avatar as far as box office numbers are concerned. And they came so close. But after the first couple of weeks being in the theater, of course, numbers start to dwindle, and it became quite apparent that that simply wasn't gonna happen. So what do you do in that case? I know! Let's re-release the movie into theater, we'll add some things to it, and then everybody will come see it a second time. In theory, that sounds like a wonderful plan. And maybe if they had done something like a director's cut, or if they had included some scenes that they've told us were in the movie since the movie came out, it might have worked. Unfortunately, Unfortunately, that's not what they did. You see, since Endgame came out, the writers and directors of the movie have come out and talked about a number of scenes that were originally included that had to be cut for one reason or another. There was a scene where Tony actually went to Asgard and ended up fighting with Heimdall because he's wearing a stealth suit so no one could see him, but Heimdall could still see him because he sees the soul, not the person, but that was cut during the writing process. There was a scene where Tony snaps his fingers and just like Thanos did during Infinity War, he actually goes to the soul world and sees his daughter, but she's all grown up now, and she basically tells him it's okay, we're gonna be okay, it's okay for you to sacrifice yourself, it's okay that you died, and it's okay that you had to do what you had to do, because we understand you had to do that to defeat Thanos. But no, none of these scenes were included. Any of these scenes that have been talked about would have been amazing to see, but no. That's not what happened either. What we did get was a video introduction by Joe Russo, who instructs us to stick around after the movie for some special features. That is, stick around for after the 3-hour-long movie for 6 additional minutes. Once the closing credits fade out, we are then given a very touching tribute to the late and great Stan Lee. Now this part I am definitely glad that they included. It basically showed us a lot of footage from all of Stan Lee's cameos throughout the years and showed some behind the scenes footage from those cameos, and we got to hear him talking about how back in the day he was just working to pay the rent and how he never anticipated that these characters that he was creating would grow to be such a huge thing, let alone did he ever imagine that he would be appearing in a movie, a blockbuster movie based off of these characters that he created. It was very touching, it was very nice to see, and that is the one part of this whole thing that I'm actually glad that they included. So the tribute that we got was not a look back at the 10 years of the MCU per se, but it was a look back at the first 10 years of the MCU through the eyes of Stan Lee. So that part was definitely cool. Then we come along to the big deleted scene we've all been waiting for. But it's not Tony in the Soul World. It's not Iron Man fighting Heimdall. It's not Thanos doing a striptease. It's an unfinished CGI scene of Professor Hulk saving a group of people from a burning building and then answering his cell phone. That's it. That's the scene. Basically, this scene was how they were originally going to introduce Professor Hulk, not the diner scene that we ended up getting. It really wouldn't have made sense to include that scene in the movie. It really wasn't that much of a shocking surprise to see the Hulk and then have the Hulk start talking to policemen, so the scene was basically kind of pointless. Pretty much if you were watching a DVD of Avengers Endgame and the special features included deleted scenes, and it kind of, goes through the scene 1, here's this, scene 2, here's this, scene 3. It would have been like scene 5 or 6. It's about a minute and a half long, maybe. Burning building, a couple of cops are standing there. There's people trapped up on the 11th floor. All of a sudden you see the Hulk bound into the burning building, and then he jumps out holding a big satellite dish filled with people, sits them down, and he goes over to the cop and basically tells him, that fire's burning at such and such Kelvin. I recommend, using whatever to put the fire out. And then he walks away and picks up his cell phone and says, Steve who? And that's it! But the cop in the scene was played by Al from Die Hard, so does that mean that Die Hard and the MCU are in the same universe? I certainly like to think so! Which, by the way, fun fact, did you know that Die Hard does take place in the same universe as both Predator and Commando? But that's totally a video for another time. So now we've seen our tribute, we've seen our deleted scene. So what were the other surprises? It was a commercial for Spider-Man Far From Home, you know, the movie that was coming out a few days later. That's all. It was like the first scene. Nick Fury shows up and the Sand Elemental, which was not Sandman, but was Sandman, pops up out of the ground, and then Mysterio shows up. He's like, what are you doing here? You don't want any part of this. Spider-Man Far From Home, coming soon. And that was it. Fade to black. So, that was your big plan, huh? That's how we're gonna beat Avatar. Yeah. So, did it work? Of course not! As of the recording of this video, the international numbers from this past weekend are not in just yet, but after 2 weeks of Endgame being back in theaters with this 6 minutes of additional footage, Endgame is still $15 million away from even tying Avatar. So, nice try, guys. A for effort. But wow, that was one epic fail that failed epically. And frankly is just one more reason for me to not like Endgame. And I really, really want to like it. I really do. I love the MCU. I've seen Far From Home and it was amazing. But Endgame, oh god, it hurts my brain trying to like it so much. Just hurting pain. Pain hurting. It burns my... So what did you guys think? Did you see the re-release? Do you think that 6 minutes was worth it? Do you think that it, deserves to beat Avatar? Do you think Avatar was a good movie? I don't know, whatever you want. Put it in the comments below. Continue to comment, like, share, and subscribe. And normally I do videos here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I promise that they're not usually as much of a train wreck as this video has been, but, well, I took a week and a half off, so I'm a little out of my rhythm. While you're at it, go over and check out our sponsor at www.geekycool.com. Another website to find all things nerd. Everything from articles to opinion pieces, movie reviews, game reviews, top 10 lists, panels, exclusive video content, and maybe even a YouTube channel coming in the near future, so stick around for that. Again, guys, that is www.geekycool.com. Please go by and check them out. Tell them Scallywag Productions sent you. And that about wraps it up for me today, guys. So, hey, again, sorry this was kind of a jumbled mess, but we'll get back into the groove. Don't worry, we'll get there. Got some stuff to talk about over the next few days. So, yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you then.